Hola mis amores, hi my loves, I'm Stephanie, aka Sassy Little Steffi. Welcome to my channel. Today's look is, I'm just calling it peanut butter and jelly. The colors that I used are burnt oranges and browns and then kind of like a smoky plum. So I don't know why, it just reminded me of peanut butter and jelly. And no, I did not actually use the Too Faced palette. It's not out yet, so I was actually like scrolling through and saw the palette and I'm just so in love. I can't wait to order it. So this is kind of just inspired by that. However, I will be using Carli Bybel's palette and the Morphe 350 to create this look. So if you want to find out how I did it, stick around. And one last thing before I go, this necklace is amazing and so is this beautiful bracelet. You can see some more posts about this jewelry on my Instagram, Sassy Little Steffi, and I'm really thrilled to announce that I am a Rocksbox It Girl. And so basically subscription boxes are all the rage. I have too many to count, but I was approached by Rocksbox and asked if I would like to be a representative for them, an It Girl, and I of course said yes. I've heard a lot of great things about their subscription box, and so basically what it is you sign up and you have a wish list, almost like Christmas, and somebody will personalize 3 items and they send them to you based on your wish list. And so it really is like Christmas every month, and the items are absolutely stunning. I mean, hello, I'm so in love with this, like absolutely in love. And yeah, you can get your first month for free if you go to their website, rocksbox.com, and type in the code sassylilstephixoxo. I will leave the link down here, and I will also leave that little code for you just in case you forget. But yeah, you should definitely sign up for it and tell your girlfriends, because I mean, you can never have too much jewelry, right? Alrighty, so without any further ado, here's my peanut butter jelly look. Okay world, say hello to my naked face. Alrighty, so when we start our makeup application, the first thing we need is primer. I will be using Cover FX Anti-Aging Primer. I really love the formula. It's not too thick, it's not too liquidy, and believe it or not, I'm 27 years old, and yep, I'm in a stage in my life where I just want to really take care of my skin and prevent any creepy crawly crittery lines from coming through, and I really do feel like this is the right primer for my skin. Ta-da! Alright my loves, so this is a little secret of mine that I am happily going to share with you. Right here is Lime Crime Cosmetics lipstick in Cosmopop. We are not using it for our lips. We are actually going to use it on the under eye area. You're probably thinking, what the heck, why? So, as you can see, this color is a peachy tone, and the peach tone is absolutely perfect for canceling out any darkness, purples, blues, even greens. So I'm grabbing a dry blender from Real Techniques and I'm blending it out. Take a look. See, the right side of my face already looks a little bit more live and less dark. Love it. Oh, sad side. Don't worry, we're gonna go in on the other side and do the exact same thing. You can also use this on any other parts of the face that have some slight or heavy discoloration. I do have some on my chin and my forehead. You can't really see it on camera, but I promise it's there, and I'm just blending it out. Next up, we'll be doing our foundation, and I'm going to be using these 2 products. First is MAC's Pro-longwear Concealer in NW25. I put this on the back of my hand and I use 2 pumps, 2.5 actually, 1, 2.5. Boom. Next, I'm going to reach over and grab MAC's Face and Body Foundation. There it is. It's in color C2. And I add some of this product only on the top half of that concealer blob that I put on my hand. And then I'm going to use my finger to mix this in. Now, it might just be because of the winter, I don't know, but I can't really find a right foundation. Oh, okay, get your groove on, girl. Don't mind me. Anyway, like I was saying, I can't find the right or the perfect foundation color, so I've been doing this as a mix and it's perfect. You want to make sure that your face matches your body, okay? And now I'm dotting it on my face, or dabbing, much rather. Dab. Anywho, yeah, I like to dab this onto the face instead of like mixing it in with my fingers, because it just makes the process so much easier when you grab your blender. And yeah, it looks like war paint, so get your war paint on. Alrighty, and I'm going to go ahead and blend this foundation with a dry Real Techniques sponge. Now, I'm not too sure how many people do or don't do this. Normally when I see other makeup people on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter using sponges, they always wet them, and that's perfectly fine. However, when you wet the sponge, it's going to thin out the product that you're trying to blend out. Now, I want a medium to full coverage because I'm kind of going for a more glam look, if you will. And so I do not want to thin out that product, which is why I'm using it dry. Regardless if you use a dry or wet sponge, you are still going to get that flawless blended effect. So it's just completely up to you. Here's another little tip. If you can remember when I was making that foundation mixture, I was using the back of my hand and my finger as opposed to using like a plate or a palette and a brush. Now the reason I'm doing this is because, boom, you can see there, I can wipe the excess product onto my face and blend it out. I don't know about you, I'm not made out of money, so anytime I can save product and not waste it, I'm definitely going to do it. So that's a little tip for you at home if you're using liquids. Using the back of your hand is going to allow you to not waste any product. We're going to be concealing our under eye area next, and these are the two products that I will be using. We're going to go in first with Bye Bye Under Eye from It Cosmetics. And notice how I'm going to be applying this, okay? I'm only going to do small little dots, and this is the reason why. This product is actually like a paste-like consistency. It's not a cream, so beware. If you use too much product, it's not going to blend. It's going to leave a big sticky mess. Oh, you just don't want it. Trust me, I was there when I first got this product. Now, I'm actually going to be using my finger to go ahead and apply this product. Notice how I'm patting it into the skin on the under eye area. You want to be really, really, really gentle. You don't want to tug, push, or pull. Make sure you're getting in all the nooks, crannies, crevices, corners. Alrighty, and don't be afraid to like take it into like the tear duct, and you can even bring it onto your nose. As long as it's blended, there's nothing wrong with doing that. We're going to go in next with Urban Decay's Naked Skin Weightless Concealer. This is in the color Medium Neutral. Now it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, and the reason being is because I'm going to be using it to highlight the under eye area. That's why you can see me taking the product a little bit further down. Now this is a pricey product, at least for me. Yep, but I decided to go ahead and buy it, and I do not regret it one bit. This is definitely something that I'm always going to be having in my makeup bag forever. Here we are using my finger to apply the product. Yes, girl. I hope you got some time because you really need to blend in this product for that flawless look. So you can also apply this to the bottom of your chin, even on the top of your nose. Any areas that you want to kind of highlight or bring forward, you can use this product on there. Once I'm done blending it as much as possible with my finger, I like to go in with a dry Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Notice how I say dry. This is actually another little secret of mine. Before, I noticed a lot of creasing in my under eye area when I was putting concealer and then setting it with a powder, which you'll see soon. And I just kind of played around with different sponges, and eventually one day I was just like, you know what? Let me try it with a dry sponge and see if that changes anything, and it changed everything. Do not use a wet sponge to apply the setting powder under your eye. that just, I mean, it adds moisture. So what happens when powder gets wet? It's just going to turn into a mess. So that's definitely cut down all of the creasing that I used to see in the under eye area. Whenever you use a liquid or a cream, you need to set it with powder so that way it doesn't move. So here we're going to use Laura Mercier's Secret Brightening Powder for the under eye area. Here's another little trick. I'm going old school beauty. That sponge right there has been around for a long time. It's just a basic triangular beauty sponge, if you will. You can find it at Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, super cheap. You get a pack of who knows how many. But the reason I like using this is because that edge right there really allows me to push the product where I need it, and also give me that line that goes from the bottom of my lash line into the hairline. You see that kind of diagonal line? It's providing structure onto the face that we're going to need later once we start contouring. So make sure you do the same to the other side. You want to pat that product into the face to make sure that it's being absorbed by the cream that you just used. Okay, and you can even bring the powder down just a little bit. That way it can brighten up that under eye area, because nobody likes looking like a little raccoon. Believe it or not, this actually has a term and we call it baking. It's where you leave this powder on so that it can brighten up the skin. And yep, looks a little scary, but we're going to leave it on there. We're going to be setting our face makeup with Kat Von D's Lock It Tattoo Powder Foundation in medium 53. And I'm going to be using the Real Techniques powder brush. There it is. Now I'm going to take this powder and just a couple swipes. Then I'm going to push it into the skin and then buff it out. Make sure you're taking it into the hairline and bringing it down onto your neck. You always want to make sure that you're choosing the right foundation colors. You need your neck to match your face. You don't want to be looking all crazy or like an Oompa Loompa. Alright, can I just go ahead and put this out there? I am absolutely in love with Kat Von D. I remember watching her on LA Ink, and now she's just a full-blown badass. Artist in every sense of the word, and her makeup line is to die for. Not to mention, I respect her because she is Mexican, and so am I, so thank you for representando las Latinas. We appreciate you. I'm excited! Time to contour, and we're going to use Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers, and this is a brush from Crown Brushes, the C405 Contour Blush Brush. Oh, look at this Band-Aid. I'm sorry, it's in every shot, but I cut my finger yesterday when I was cooking, so Band-Aid or blood, you choose. In all my excitement to contour, I actually missed a step. Yes, I messed up, and I'm putting it on here so you can see. Now, right here, I'm going to be applying the contour powders directly onto my face. Now, I can do this freehand, if you will, but I found something that just helps create a more crisp, professional contour look, and this is that little secret. I'm grabbing that same triangular sponge with the same Laura Mercier powder, and I'm going to be taking it along the side of my cheek. I'm going to be patting it into the skin from about the middle of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth. And I'm just going to be grabbing a mirror so that I can do the other side. This step is not necessary, however, I love it because it kind of helps me from putting my contour powder too far down. I don't know if you noticed, but I have really full cheeks. Shout out to my dad for those. But yeah, I definitely don't want to make my cheeks any bigger. So here we are, finally going in for real to contour. And I'm actually using a mix of 3 bronze powders, Milk Chocolate Soleil, Endless Summer, and then Chocolate Soleil. I'm using short strokes and also circular motions. And I'm putting it above the line on the temples of my face and also on the top of my forehead. Making sure that you're taking it into the hairline, okay? And now it's time to add more depth. This is like my favorite part. This is the Dark Chocolate Soleil. I'm applying it to the top third of my cheek, closest to my ear, using those circular motions. And then I'm going to trace where I put the other bronzer. So on my temples, into the forehead, and make sure you're blending into that hairline. You do not want a bronze helmet. And also make sure that the colors that you're using for a bronzer are not too orange, too gray. It just needs to look very, very natural. You can also apply this to the jawline and underneath the chin if you have a fuller face or you just want more definition. In case you were wondering, yes, the Too Faced chocolate products actually smell like chocolate. In fact, my boyfriend loves it when I wear these bronzers because he just likes to hug me and smell the chocolate. Alright, mis amores, are we ready? It's highlight time. So first up, we're going to go in with Sephora Radiant Luminizing Drops in Ultra Light. This is a liquid product and a little goes a long way. Now it comes with a dropper and a lot of product comes out, so instead I just roll it onto the fingertip. And then I'm going to pat it into the skin. And notice where I'm placing this product. I'm putting it on the tops of my cheeks, onto the side, leading up to my temples. I'm going to do it on both sides. And you can also put this on the tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose, and your forehead if you like, right in the middle, and your chin. Basically any part of your face that you want to highlight, that you want to capture light, that's where you want to place this product. Can I also just say that too many people sleep on the Sephora line, and by that I mean that not enough people pay attention to it. Let me tell you, if you are looking for beauty on a budget and you want a product that is not going to break the bank, but it's going to perform just as well as a high-end product, head to the Sephora collection and take a look. And here we have the Becca Shimmering Perfector. This is a highlight powder, and this is Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. Look at that, so beautiful. I'm going to be using this brush. I got it at Marshall's. I think the brand is Beauty Concepts. I don't know, it was cheap and I actually like it. So now I'm just going to be going over those radiant drops with this powder product. And I know it looks a little crazy, but we will be blending that out, so have no fear, okay? Don't be afraid to shine. And as I mentioned before, you can highlight any part of your face that you want to pick up the light. So I am going to be adding it to my chin, the tip, and the bridge of my nose. And when I turn over back to the camera, you're going to see it just picks up light and just brightens up my face. Glow girl, yes! Woo! We're going to be blushing our face next. And this is a Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. And I'll be grabbing my Real Techniques blush brush. Here we go. I'm just going to swipe it across the product, just like this. Swoop, swoop. Now, normally I would just put it on the apples of my cheeks, but again, I guess I really want to shine bright today, so I'm kind of just putting it all over the cheek. Nothing wrong with that. Let a girl live. And, yep, do the same to both sides. And make sure you're using circular motions to blend it out. And here we also have two more Milani products. They're both blushes. I love these colors. We have Romantic Rose and Coral Cove. Hey, those rhymed. So here we have that Romantic Rose. Just a little bit of swiping motion there, tapping motion. And then that was Coral Cove. Okay, I'm going to take this to the apples of my cheeks here. Now I do like that kind of like flushed rosy look. So sometimes I add a little bit more of Coral Cove, which is I think what I'm going to do here. Yep, see, went in for the Coral Cove again. Again, it's because I like that rosy look. So you can omit that if you'd like. Again, your look and my look can be completely different. You can apply as much or as little product as you like. Here we have a buffer brush. It's flat and it's very dense, very thick. I bought it on coastalscents.com, and here I'm using it in circular motions to go ahead and blend our contour powder, blush, and highlight together. Also taking in that foundation brush. Okay, make sure that you are blending and buffing all of the bronzer and taking it into the hairline. And I'm going to be using this foundation brush. It still has a little bit of product, and it's great for when you're brushing away the translucent powder so that you don't get any white residue. Everything is matching your skin tone. Here we have it, that Morphe 350 palette. This palette is fire. It's so popular right now, and here's why. Look at that. Yes. That's my yes, I love makeup face, by the way. Okay, so here I need to grab my first brush, and it's going to be the MAC 224. I do believe this is actually officially called a tapered blending brush. So there you have it. Okay, and then I'm going to open up this beautiful palette and figure out what color I want to use first. Which gorgeous color should I use? Now I don't know any of the names, but I'm going to use that one right there. It's like a, I don't know, an orange creamsicle color, if you will, second row from the top. Now I'm going to take this into the outer crease area. using windshield wiper motions and circular motions, alternating between those two. Notice how I'm not pushing the brush down. We want to keep everything up for this color. And officially, this is called the transition color, okay? If you're wondering how makeup people get like this flawless effect of their eye makeup and they don't have any harsh lines, this is the key right here. You need a transition color to make everything just blend seamlessly on your eye area. And here we have the Carli Bybel palette from BH Cosmetics. I love this palette, and if you couldn't tell by now, I'm all about beauty on a budget. Do not be intimidated. You do not always need high-end products or really expensive products to create beautiful looks. And so here we have it. Look at those colors. Oh, so here I am. Da, 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 da. Which gorgeous color am I going to use on my eyes? I'm going to use that one right there. It's a beige, taupey kind of color with a hint of like a rose pink. Absolutely love it. And I'm actually going to be switching brushes for this right here. And this is a MAC 217 brush. I apologize for covering up the brush head, but you're going to see it right now. Okay, so now I'm taking this color just below that transition color that we set down. You don't want to push the brush up or down. You want to keep it in a very neutral position. Okay, same motions. You're doing circular motions and alternating with the windshield wiper. Nope, it's not raining. That's just us blending this color out. The key to really flawless looking color transitions, whether it's in your contour or your eyeshadow colors, is making sure that you're using different shades to create depth. So as you can see here, I'm choosing the next eyeshadow over in the Carli Bybel palette, and you want to make sure that you're swiping and wiping. Actually, that sounds like I'm wiping a baby's butt. Okay, so maybe we don't want to say that, but you want to use the windshield wiper and the circular motions. That way you blend everything as seamlessly as possible. Okay, next up I'm grabbing like a short little shader brush, and I'm going to pick up that last color right there, this smoky plum, if you will. And as soon as I put that on my eyelid, you're going to see why I decided to call this look the peanut butter and jelly look. Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter. No? Anybody? Okay. I'm going to throw another makeup technique term your way. This is called a halo eyeshadow look. The reason being is, notice how I'm taking that plum or jelly color and I'm kind of creating a little halo around the middle of my eyelid. Okay? You're going to see why in a second, but we want to make sure that we're leaving that area right there blank. You do not want any eyeshadow on it. Okay, and you can make this look as dark or as light as you like. I definitely want a little bit more depth, so I'm just picking up a little bit more product and, yep, just making defining that halo area. Alrighty, remember how we have that little blank space here? We're about to fill it with this gorgeous copper tone from the Carli Bybel palette. Now you should tap off or blow off any of the excess because it is a shimmer and we don't want the shimmer falling out. Another way to prevent the shimmer from falling onto the under eye area is to press the brush onto the eyelid and then drag it down, and then continue to tap into the eyelid. That way the product stays on the eyelid and not fall on your face. And I learned this from the beautiful, gorgeous, talented Dress Your Face. Alrighty, so again, to add even more depth to this look, I'm going to take a dark chocolate brown from the Morphe 350 palette that was on the last row of those eyeshadows. And I'm going to be applying it with my MAC 217 brush. This is a blending crease brush, I believe that's what it's called. And I'm going to pick up some of the product, and then I'm going to put it on the outer part of the eye, and then kind of just bring it inside. Notice how I'm keeping it low. I don't want it to go into the outer crease area or into my transition color. Okay, and I'm using a very, very light hand. Now it's time to blend. This is key. Major key right here, ladies. I'm grabbing that tapered blending brush, the MAC 224, and I want to blend it into the outer crease color, the transition color. Okay? I do believe I'm going to pick up just a little bit more product because, again, depth is key. Yes. There we go. You want to focus the majority of that dark color on the outside. See that? Ooh, smoky, sultry. Yes, girl, work it. And again, going between adding more depth and then blending it out. This does take a while, but I promise it's totally worth it in the end when you have this gorgeous look and you just have people saying, oh, I love your eyeshadow. Okay, and then I like to go in again and just add a little bit more of the shimmer color because as you can see, some of the product kind of went onto the shimmer that we had, and ain't nobody gonna steal my shine. Alrighty, it wouldn't be a complete look without Kat Von D's ink liner in Trooper. This eyeliner is amazing. And, okay, hold on. You gotta be extra quiet when you're doing the liquid liner because it has a mind of its own. And screwing up would be the death of this makeup look. Okay, here we go. Alright, sorry, I get really nervous even just watching somebody put on liquid liner because let me tell you, even with putting it on for so many years, it can always just go wrong in 2 seconds. So here I am aligning as close to the lashes as possible. Okay, there we go. And I am actually looking at a mirror on the side and then looking up at you so you can see how the liner is developing. Okay, and you can make this as thick or as thin as you like. It's completely up to you. Now I want to take it out. I'm going for a full glam look here, so I do want that winged liner on the side. You notice how I'm taking it from the bottom of the lash line out as far as I want to, and then on the top I'm creating a wing, and then just kind of like coloring. You fill in that little space right there. Here we go. Okay, just adding a little bit more. Now I am a perfectionist, so sometimes this can take forever, but there you have it. So you're probably thinking, there's no way she's using all those mascaras, but you bet your buttons I am. Trust me on this one. This is my little secret, okay? And I'm letting you in on it. So here we go. I'm going to start off with my mascara with e.l.f. Lash Extending Mascara in black. Okay? Now, the reason I do this is because I do not like wearing false lashes every day. I really only like them for special occasions, but I do like a full voluminous curled lash. And I've yet to find one mascara that does it all, so I'm making my own little special concoction. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. And you may think I'm crazy now, but as you see the transition and the transformation of my lashes, you're gonna love it, and you're probably gonna try this too. Okay, so next up we have the Colossal Volume Express from Maybelline, and this is in the color Glam Black. Right, look at this brush, see that? Yep, it's curved, so that's going to give me the curl that I want and also a little bit of volume. Okay, I swipe it through my lashes a couple times. It just kind of depends, you know, for the look I'm going for. And yeah, like I said, if I'm going to be paying $30 or $40 for a mascara, I want it to do everything, but I've yet to find one. Next up, we have L'Oreal's Power Volume 24-Hour Mascara. I normally don't buy a waterproof mascara because it breaks the lashes. However, with this formula, I found that the waterproof is just better. Okay, look at that. Yep. Volume. You see that fat little brush there? It gives you volume. Okay, and now the next layer is going to be, again from L'Oreal, this is Voluminous Miss Manga, and this one is also waterproof. Okay, it's in the color Blackest Black. Now this one is a full brush, but it has an angle to it. And I like this because I can get into the ends and the tips of all the lashes. Alright, here we have Lash Blast 24 Hour from CoverGirl. It's again in black. I do love black mascara. The blacker the better. Look at that brush. Alright, here we go. And on this brush, it's actually all plastic. It has these little combs. So I love this because it's giving me volume while separating the lashes, which is important. Okay, and here we have Voluminous Million Lashes Excess, and it's actually from L'Oreal. I always think it's from Revlon for some reason, but it's not. Look at that brush. Okay, here we go. More little combs. I love it because it's giving me that separated look, which is so important. I do not want spidery lashes. Say no to the spider lashes, ladies. Okay, look at that. Yes, love it. Alrighty, next up, We have Lash Sensational from Maybelline. This is my favorite mascara. Like, if I only needed one mascara for emergency purposes, this would be it. Look at that brush. Va va voom. We are gonna get it, girl. Okay, a couple swipes of this. Oh, this is just, yes, I love, love, love this mascara. If you haven't tried it, please do. And the last mascara in our lineup is Great Lash, Lots of Lashes. Check out this comb or this brush. Small but mighty. This little guy just gets all of the lashes that you might have missed. It's perfect for grabbing the lashes on the outer and inner corners. There we go. Here we have it. Look at this transition. These are not fake lashes. I get asked all the time if I have fake lashes, if I do lash extensions. Nope. There's my secret, and now you have it. Okay, now it's time to make our eyes wider, brighter, and we're gonna go in with Mr. Right Now from the Balm. And I'm gonna take this, I'm not gonna put it in the waterline. I'm strictly gonna place it on the actual lash line. Sorry, I think I had yawned or something, and that's why I have some watery eyes. But anyways, as I said, I'm only gonna take it onto the lash line. Also, another little hint of mine, if you want an open eye, you do not want to take this liner all the way into the inner part of the eye. That's where this comes in. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. We're going to be doing the front part of the eye. You see that? So kind of half and half, if you will. And I am going to take this product on the waterline. Don't forget to coat the lower lash line. Here I am grabbing my favorite from Maybelline, that same Lash Sensational Mascara. Okay, the only tricky part when you use a white or a nude eyeliner in the lash line to open up your eyes, you don't want to get any mascara on there, so just be wary and be careful. Look at that comparison. Open eye compared to the eye that has no eye makeup. See that? The look is beautiful, but we're missing something. Brows, baby. Where are they? Don't worry, they're coming right up. Okay, this little container just has some coconut oil that I got at Whole Foods, and I'm going to put some of that on the tip of my finger. You're about to find out why. Next up, I'm grabbing my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush. I believe this is a number 12. It's the angled brow brush. Tapping some of that coconut oil onto it. And then next up, we're going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in dark brown. Now, this is why I use the coconut oil. For any of you who own this product, actually, hold on. You see that? I cracked the product the other day, broke my heart, but there's so much product in there, I'm not throwing it away. Anywho, the reason I'm using the coconut oil is because any pomade that you might have, it tends to dry up, but if you use a little bit of coconut oil, it brings it back to life. Alrighty. Now, everybody has their own aesthetic for their brows. This is how I like to do mine. The first thing I'm doing is taking a little bit of the pomade and outlining the bottom part of my eyebrow. As you can see here, I do have some sparseness, so using this product to kind of trace out where I would like my eyebrow to be, it's perfect. You want to do short little strokes, and also make sure that you're not pushing the brush into the pomade, okay? A little bit goes a long way, and again, trust me, oh my god, when I first got this product, I put way too much on and I just had these like really dark eyebrows. But anywho. Alright, so now I'm going to also outline the top of my brow using these short strokes. And the reason you use short strokes is to kind of create little, I guess, you want it to look as real as possible. So the short strokes imitate actual hairs. Okay, next up, we're going to go in with another Anastasia Beverly Hills product. This is the Brow Definer. Brand new. This is awesome. See that there? That angled chisel tip? It's beautiful. And again, this is in the color dark brown. This product does take a little getting used to, but what I'm doing is kind of going back in where I lined my eyebrows and now using this product. The consistency of this, it's really hard to describe. It's creamy, but it's not too creamy. It's also pencil-like. It's right in between. But anyways, I'm using this now to add a little bit more depth into my eyebrows. Okay. Now, if you notice, my hair is very, very dark. Those roots, those are my actual roots. So For me personally, I do like a darker eyebrow. I'm picking up that same brow brush now and just kind of going over the brow definer that I just did. Again, we want to blend the product. We want to make sure it looks as real as possible. This is the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Again, these products are you need them in your life. Check out that little micro tip, okay? This is going to go in and do all the definition. Little strokes. Notice how I change the direction as I move down the eyebrow, okay? You want it to follow the natural direction of the hairs of your eyebrow to create a more realistic look. Now this is just something that I do. This is a brush from Revlon. I got it at CVS. It's double-sided. That side that I'm using is actually a smudge brush. But I use it for my brows. If you noticed earlier, there's still some little sparse spots. So what I do is I use this brush to blend and push the product in the directions that I need it to go. Here we are. Sorry it's out of focus. There we go. Okay, so in the front, I don't want it as dark as the end of my eyebrow. I just push everything into place. Okay, I don't add any concealer or anything like that. I just clean up my brows with my finger. And the very last step to a flawless brow is making sure that you get all those little stray hairs. They need to be out. These tweezers are angled tweezers from Tweezerman. They're about $20. I never leave my home without these. I am the girl that if I'm in the bathroom and I see a little hair that doesn't belong, you better believe that it is coming out. Boom, there you have it. The perfect brow. I'm going to do a little close-up right here. Okay, and I really like that you can see the difference between a no makeup eye and a makeup eye. Bloop. Hey, you stay right there. I'll be right back. I gotta finish out this makeup look and also do my hair. Look at this, Hollywood glamour, what? And I get these curls with none other than my 25mm NuMe Magic Wand. Mwah. And the last thing is our lip look. So here I'm going to be moisturizing my lips with Lasting Smiles, their organic lip balm and peppermint cream. And I love this because the product is just amazing, but also for every 1,000 lip balms sold, it goes to fund a cleft lip palate surgery for a child. And this lip liner is from Milani, right there, and it is the Nude lip liner. Like that's the actual color, it's called Nude. And I know that like lip fillers, the Kylie Jenner lip thing is like totally in right now, but I'm very thankful that I was born with these lips. Shout out to my mommy, thanks mama. And yeah, so if you want to overline your lips to give you a fuller look, by all means go ahead. But I don't really want any bigger lips than I already have, so I just kind of follow the natural line of my lips. I received this next product in an Ipsy bag about 2 months ago, and it is Pacifica. Look at that color, it's so beautiful. And this is the shade Tender Hearts. So I'm going to be applying this lipstick all over my lips. Now it's really hard to describe this. I guess it's like a matte lip, but it's just so creamy. I just love this color, look at that. So beautiful, this color's totally in, so hit up Pacifica and get this Tender Hearts color because it is so gorgeous. And the very last item you need to complete this beauty look is a NYX Butter Lipstick in number 16. I'm going to be applying this to the middle of my pout. Look at that color, so pretty. It's a little bit lighter than the Tender Hearts, and again creating depth. Sorry my mirror's in the way, but as you can see, I'm only applying this onto the middle of my lips. There we go. I pushed my lips together to blend out the lipstick. You can use your finger or even a lipstick brush. Look them up it, and here we are.